Decided to take it outside today because it's such a beautiful evening. So this is today's Daily Dose. So the big question you have to answer is whether you consider yourself just to be a bunch of chemicals that someone in a laboratory can try and manipulate to get you healthy, or do you believe that you possess an amazing intelligence inside of you that can take those chemicals and put them together in a harmonious package 24 hours a day? Now, these are two obviously completely contrasting and totally different paradigms or beliefs. But for me personally, I do not believe you can solve any problem chemically from an outside in perspective. And what's really funny is that, most of us have that same belief when it comes to nature. I dare say most of the country have been outside in the garden today. And I'll admit from the outset that I'm no green-fingered gardener. But if you had a plant whose leaves are wilting and turning yellow, what would you do? Would you immediately rush to your medicine cabinet and give the plant some drugs? No. Why? Because that would be stupid. Instead, you would try moving it, watering it, feeding it, or even you'd make sure that no one was putting anything toxic into the soil. In other words, when it comes to nature, our first automatic thought is to consider changing the environment. Unfortunately, we don't apply that same logic when it comes to our own bodies and lives. And the reason I believe is that popping a pill is a darn sight easier than having faith in our own bodies. I heard somewhere that when you and I were conceived, if you could, bear thinking about that rather disturbing thought, but that moment when our parents did what they had to do, there were 300 trillion possible human beings that could have been made. 300 trillion. In other words, you are incredibly special. So the next time you go for a blood test and you're told that X, Y, or Z is high or low, realize that first of all, everything in your bodies goes up and down on a cyclical basis. And then you need to ask yourself, why is it high or low? What is it that your body's adapting to? Is it because you're toxic in something? Or is it because you're deficient in something? Or is it because there's a breakdown in the communication system? In other words, you must decide whether the chemical imbalance is the cause or the effect. But regardless, the only way you can solve the problem is by changing your environment. So try moving, watering, or feeding your body differently, and you might just get some better results. However, and this is important, especially these days when we all want that instant gratification, we want that miracle cure, we want everything right now. But to change anything in life, and in particular with regards to your health, it takes time, it takes repetition, and it takes effort. And on that note, have a lovely evening and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And I'll see you tomorrow.